Once again, one and all. So in this today's particular lecture, we will understand how to solve the problems on balancing of several masses rotating in different planes. Okay. So yesterday, in the particular video lecture, we have understand the concept of balancing of several masses rotating in the different planes. So today we will start with the problem number 1. So let us read the problem statement. A rotating shaft carries 4 unbalanced masses M1, M2, M3 and M4 of magnitudes 20 kg, 15 kg, 17 kg and 14 kg. Revolving at a radius of rotation, that is the distance from the axis of rotation of the shaft and the center of gravity of the masses 60 mm, 80 mm, 100 mm, 60 mm respectively. Okay, so this is given. The masses M2, M3, M4 revolves in a plane 100 mm, 180 mm, 300 mm respectively from the plane of the mass M1. So this is a problem based on several masses rotating in a different planes. So from this problem statement we understand that, let us say A is the plane of M1. Okay, so from M1 the plane of plane B, plane C and plane D in which masses M2, M3 and M4 rotate, and the distance is given as 100 mm, then 180 mm, this total distance, and this total distance they have given as a 300 mm. So the distance from the plane of mass M1 is given. Okay, you have to understand this. And angularly located at 65, 145, 70 degrees respectively, measured in anti-clockwise direction from the mass M1. So from the mass M1, so as I said in the earlier lecture that we will be considering mass M1 on a horizontal axis OH. So from mass M1 measured in anti-clockwise direction, they have given the angles 65, 145 and 270 degree of masses M1, M2, M3 and M4. Okay, so all the data is given properly in this particular problem. The shaft is to be dynamically balanced by the two masses. Okay, so now to balance this system, you have to use two masses. Let us say ML and let us say MM are the two masses which are located at 70 mm radii. So both are located at a distance 70 mm from the axis of rotation of the shaft and revolving in the plane midway between those of masses M1 and M2. Means what? This ML is between M1 and M2, means exactly at the center of M1 and M2 and midway between those masses M3 and M4. So this MM is between M3 and M4. Okay, so we will draw the position plane diagram based on this. Determine the magnitudes of balancing masses and the respective angular position. So you have to find out ML, you have to find out MM. Is it clear? I hope you understand the problem statement. So let us solve this. So first of all, let us understand the given data. So the given data is, we know that M1 is given as 20 kg. So M1 is given as 20 kg and a corresponding R1, that is the radius of rotation, is given as 60 mm. So 60 mm is nothing but 0.06 meter. Okay. Next M2 is given 15 kg. Next M3 is given 17 kg and M4 is given 14 kg. Okay, and similarly they have given R2 is equal to, R3 is equal to and R4 is equal to. So all the distances they have given. So this is nothing but the 80 mm and this is they have given as 100 mm and this is they have given as 60 mm equal to. Okay, so convert it into the meters. 0.08 meters, 0.1 meter and this is 0.06 meter. Okay, so this is given. Next, what they have given, now they have given the theta. Now let us say that this is the space diagram. We will draw the space diagram in the next slide, but just for your understanding I have taken the space diagram in this particular slide. So we will assume this point as a O and let us assume this point mass M1 horizontal. So as I said that we are assuming mass M1 is horizontal. So what is the theta? Theta 1 is equal to 0 degree. Then we have to find out theta 2, theta 3, which is actually given, and theta 4. Okay. So they have given the angles are located 65 degree, 145 degree and 275 degree respectively of M2, M3 and M4 measured in anti-clockwise direction. Means what? They have given this angle theta 2. They have also given this angle theta 3 and they have also given this angle theta 4. So they have directly given the angles from the mass M1 which is measured in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so directly the angles are given. So theta 2 they have given as 65 degree Then theta 3 they have given as 145 degree, and theta 4 they have given as 275 degree. Okay, so this data they have given. Now let us consider ML and MM. What are these ML and MM? These are nothing but the two balancing masses. Okay, these are two balancing masses rotating in plane L, and let us say this MM is rotating in the plane MM. Okay, and the distance is given. At the distance, what is the distance? They are given RL is equal to RM, is radius of rotation of mass ML and mass MM, that is RL is equal to RM. They have given it as a 7 centimeter, right? So they have given it as a 7 centimeter. So this is what they have given the data. Okay. Now first of all, we have to draw the position of planes of masses, which is the once you have done the given data, the first diagram you have to draw the position plane diagram. Let us draw the position plane diagram. So first of all, let us consider this mass M1. So let us consider this mass as the M1. Then let us consider this mass as the M2. And let us consider this mass as the M3. Okay. And let us consider this mass as the M4. Right here, mass M4. 1 second. Okay. So this is mass M1, mass M2, mass M3, and mass M4. This is a basic diagram which you have to draw. The first diagram, position of planes of masses. So masses M1, M2, M3. Now next they have given the distances. Okay, what distances they have given, that we have to draw. Okay, so they have given. So first of all, let us consider this mass as a ml. Now what is ml? Ml is nothing but a balancing mass, which they are saying that it is lying in the midway. That is, if this is the distance, then it is at the midpoint of the mass m1 and m2. And similarly, we will consider this mass as a mm. Okay, which is at the midpoint of this mass m3 and m4. Okay, is it okay? And let us say this is mass ml. Okay, now as I said that you have to assume some reference planes in this case. So I will be assuming the reference planes as mass ml. Okay, so the plane in which mass ml is rotating, I will assume it as a reference plane. Okay, so this I have assumed. Now next case, let us understand the distances. So this distance they have given as the distance of the mass m2. Okay, now first of all, let us say that these masses are rotating in a different planes. Okay, so let us say that this plane is A plane, this plane is B plane, this plane is C plane, and this plane is D plane. Okay, and let us say this L plane and this is M plane. So what you understand that mass m1 is rotating in the plane A, mass ml, that is a balancing mass, is rotating in the plane L, mass m2 is rotating in the plane B, mass m3 is rotating in the plane C, mass mm is rotating in the plane M, and mass m4 is rotating in the plane D. Right? Okay. So now they have given the distances of all the plane from the mass m1. Okay. So they have given this distance as 100 mm. This distance they have given as 100 mm. Okay. Next, they have given this distance of mass m3 from the plane m1. That is a mass m1 or plane A. This distance they have given as a 180 mm. So this distance they have given 180 mm. And this distance, that is a distance of plane D or mass m4 from this mass m1. This distance they have given as a 300 mm. Okay, so this distance they have given. So now once these distances are given, you can compute the remaining distances. So if this distance is 180 mm, total is 300. So obviously this distance will be 120 mm. Okay. Now they are saying that this balancing masses ml and balancing masses mn are located at the midway between the masses of a m1 and m2. That is or m3 and m4. So what will be this distance? So this distance will be 50 mm and this will be 50 mm. Why? Because this ml is located at the center of this plane A and B, or masses m1 and m2. And this distance is, obviously it will be 60 mm and 60 mm. Okay. Now no need to take the scale. Okay, or no need to take the measuring scale in this case. You have to just show the position of planes of masses from the problem statement. Okay, and consider any one mass as a reference plane, and in this case I have considered this ml as a reference plane. So now as I said that all the distances from the reference planes to the left of the reference planes will be negative, and all the distances to the right of the reference plane will be positive. Is it okay? I hope it is clear to all of you. The next step is to draw the force and couple data. Now, what is force and couple data? So for that, let us say we have to tabulate all the data. So what are the table contents or the column contains? Mass, plane, then mass m1, radius r, centrifugal force, distance from the reference plane, and the couple. Okay, which is equal to mr into L. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns which will remain always same in each and every problem. Okay, so let us draw the. So start from the left side. So what is the first plane? Plane A. So next is the left plane L, which is the reference plane. Then plane B, plane C, plane M, and plane D. So I have started from the left to the right. Okay. Now tabulate all the data. What is the mass m1? 20. What is the radius of mass m1? 0.06. So what will be centrifugal force? 20 multiplied by 0.06. You will get 1.2. Now distance from the reference plane. Okay. Now for this I have to go back to this particular diagram. So once I will go, so you can see that the distance of mass m1 from this reference plane is nothing but what? It is equal to this distance, that is 50 mm. So this is nothing but L1, but it is to the left of the reference plane, so it is minus L1. Okay. Similarly, distance of mass m2 from the reference plane L1 is also same. So this is nothing but the L2. So what is L2? So L2 will be again 50 mm. Right? So 50 mm means what? It is 0.05 meter. You have to convert this. Then what is L3? What will be the distance L3? Distance of mass m3 from the reference plane. So this distance will be L3, right? So this distance will be L3. So what will be the L3 distance? So L3 distance will be nothing but this distance, total distance is 50 mm. So 180 minus 50. So L3 will be 130 mm. So you have to compute in this way. And secondly, L4. L4 is nothing but this distance. This distance is nothing but the L4. So what is L4? What will be the L4? L4 will be 250 mm. Right? Okay. So 180. And then again, last distance is nothing but this distance, that is up to this mass m1. So this distance is nothing but the Lm. Okay. So all these distances L2, L3, L4, Lm. So Lm will be 190 mm. Okay. So 190 mm is what? 0.19 meter. So this is how from this plane position diagram you have to compute the distances, all the distances. Okay. So now just tabulate all the distances. Okay. I will tabulate all the distance here. So this distance is given. This distance is minus 0.05 because it is toward the left side. So now what is the couple? Couple will be the centrifugal force mr multiplied by this distance r, which is equal to minus 0.06. Okay. So now next is what? ml. So ml is the unknown. Keep as it is. What is the distance of mass ml from the axis of rotation, or what is the radius of rotation of mass ml? It is given as 7 centimeter. So that is equal to 0.07 meter. So 0.07. So what will be the centrifugal force? 0.07 ml. Okay. And the distance from the reference plane. Now this L is itself a reference plane. So this distance from the reference plane will be 0. Okay. And then what will be the couple? Couple will be also acting 0. Now this B. Mass B is given as 15. Radius is 0.08. What will be the centrifugal force? 15 into 0.08, 1.2. Okay, one in the same. And the distance of again L2, as I've shown in the earlier picture. Distance is again 0.05. That is a 50 mm. So multiply this centrifugal force with the distance, you will get a couple 0.06. And mass C is 17 kg. Distance is 0.10. So centrifugal force will be 1.7. Multiply this 17 with 0.10. And what is the distance? Distance is nothing but 130 mm. So that is 0.13 meter. Okay. Take all the distances in meter, radius in meter, mass in kg, and couple in kg meter square, and centrifugal force in kg meter. Okay. Next. And what will be the couple? 0.221. Similarly, mass mm is unknown. Keep as it is. Distance is same, 0.07. So this will again become 0.07 mm. Unknown again. Distance is 0.19. That is Lm. Lm is equal to at 190 mm from the, always take the distance from the reference plane. Okay, the plane in which mass mm is rotating is nothing but the Lm, and the distance between the plane Lm, or you can say the distance between the plane N and the reference plane L is nothing but a 190 mm. Okay. Next, so after calculating, I am getting it 0.013 mm. So again, this is unknown. So whatever the red color I have shown, these are nothing but the unknowns in this column number 4. Green colors are nothing but the unknown in this column number 6. Okay. Then again, mass of M4 is 14 kg. Distance is 0.06. So this becomes 0.84. Distance from the reference plane is 250 mm. So 0.25. Okay. Right, and this is 0.21. So in this way I have calculated the table. So I hope you have understand this. Now look at the table. In column number 4 there are two unknowns, okay, and in column number 6 there is one unknown. So first of all you will draw the couple polygon. So couple polygon is based on the column number 6, sorry. So first of all you will draw the couple polygon and then you will draw the force polygon. So as I said earlier that minimum number of unknowns, draw the polygon first. I hope it is clear to all of you. Okay. Now space diagram. Now space diagram, how we have to draw the space diagram? So first of all locate this M1. So for M1, theta 1 is equal to 0 degree. Okay. Then locate theta 2. What is mass M2? Mass M2 is from the mass M1 at an angle theta 2. And what is theta 2? So now this you have to use your protractors and properly locate the angles. Properly plot the mass angles and locate the masses M1, M2 and M3. So theta 2 is given as 65 degree. Then this is theta 3. What is theta 3? That is mass M3 from mass M1. It is 145 degree. And last is nothing but this angle which is equal to theta 4, which is at an angle 270 degree. Okay. So now in this way, I have located masses M1, M2, M3 and M4. So try to understand that I have assumed mass M1 at the rate theta 1 is equal to 0 degree. That is, you are assuming mass M1 on horizontal axis OX. Is it okay? Is it clear? So this is the second diagram or B diagram which you have drawn. That is a space diagram, which space diagram indicates the angular position of the masses. Is it okay? Now next. Now this is a diagram which is drawn by me. So parallel to this, you have to draw the force polygon and the couple polygon. Now which is the first diagram which you will draw? The couple polygon diagram, as I said earlier. So to draw the couple polygon, first of all, you have to assume the scale. Okay. So the first diagram, that is the diagram number 6, is nothing but the couple polygon. Okay, couple polygon. Now for couple polygon, again I will go just back at this table. Okay, so to couple polygon, first of all let us assume the scale. For couple polygon, I am assuming the scale as, let us say the scale is 1 mm is equal to 0.05 kg per kg meter square. Now this scale you have to take by your own logic. Means what? Considering what is the size of the paper you have and what will be the size of the couple polygon and the force polygon. It should not go out of the paper. So accordingly you can select the scale. Okay. So the diagram should not be too small. Diagram should not be too large. And in this fashion you have to select the scale. So diagram should be optimum. Okay. So for that I am taking the scale as a 0.05 mm. So what is the first couple? The first couple is nothing but the C1. Okay, this is C2, this is C3. Okay, this is unknown, and let us say this is C4. Okay, so forget about the unknown. What are the known couples? You just write down C1, C2, C3. Now what will be the C1, what will be the C2, what will be the C3 and what will be the C4? You have to indicate this on the vector diagram, right? You have to indicate this on the vector diagram. So for that, what you will do now? What is the scale? What is the scale? Scale is 0.05 kg meter square, which is equal to 1 mm. And what is your couple? 0.06. So what you will do? Divide 0.06 divided by what is your scale? 0.005. Okay. So see what I am doing. I am getting C1 is equal to minus 0.06 divided by 0 divided by the scale. I am getting 12 mm. So what will be the length of the vector? Length of the vector will be 12 mm. Similarly, length of the vector C2, it will be also 12 mm. But this is positive 12 mm, this is negative 12 mm. So when the couple is negative, it is opposite to the direction of the mass M1. Means what? It will act radially inwards towards the center point O. It will not act radially outwards because all the masses are acting radially outwards. If the answer is negative, it will act radially inwards. Similarly, C3. What is C3? 0.221 divided by what is the scale? 0.005. So you are getting this answer as a 44.2 mm. Okay. And similarly, 0.21 divided by 0.005. After dividing, I am getting it as a 42 mm. So now what I have got? I have got the length of the couple. Length of the couple vectors, right? So once you have got the length of the couple vector, you already have this diagram here. So let's start drawing this diagram. So assume the scale 1 mm is equal to 0.05 kg meter square. Okay. So how will you start? First of all, locate the point O. So now in couple polygon, it is indicated by the dash. So locate the point O dash. Okay. Now OM is acting radially outwards, right? But your first couple, that is a C1, is negative. Your C1 is negative, which is minus 0.06. So it will act opposite to this OM, that is in the radially inward direction. Okay. So mark this point O dash, and from O dash parallel to OM, parallel to OM1, what you do? Draw a line. Okay. And this indicates A dash, and this is the arrow. Starting point is O dash, starting point of the vector is O dash, end point is A dash, and this vector indicates C1 dash. So my O dash A dash is the vector opposite to this OM1 or towards this point O, radially acting inwards because my couple C1 is negative. And what is the length of vector A dash O dash? The length of vector A dash O dash is equal to 12 mm, which I have already calculated. Similarly now, parallel to OM2, parallel to this OM2, draw a line from A dash, and what is the length? What is the length of the vector again? Same, 12 mm. Okay, so draw the line parallel to here. And change the color pen here. So this A dash, B dash. What is this A dash B dash? Indicates couple C2. And what is the length of C2? Vector A dash B dash, 12 mm. We have now see all the couples are positive, right? So all the couples are positive. So they will act in the direction of OM2, that is radially outward direction. Now next is OM3. Draw the vector parallel to this OM3. OM3 means what? From the space diagram, OM3. This is OM3 line, dotted line OM3. Okay. So parallel to OM3. And what is the length? Length is 44.2 mm, right? Already we have calculated 44.2 mm. So let me draw the line parallel to this. Okay. So it will be like this. Okay. So this indicates the vector B dash C dash, and this indicates the couple C3. Okay. Now next, draw the line parallel to OM4. Now see, OM4 is in the downward direction, but radially away from the center O. Just remember that if all the couples are positive, they will act radially outward from the center O. If the couples are negative, they will act radially inwards toward the center O. Just remember this point. Okay. So now parallel to OM4, I will get the next vector, and this is nothing but the next vector I am getting. One second. So parallel to OM4. Okay. So what is this? C dash D dash, and C dash D dash indicates C4. Okay. And now you have to close the polygon, right? You have to close the polygon. So close the polygon. So this vector D dash O dash indicates, what does this vector D dash O dash indicates? This vector O dash D dash indicates the remaining couple in the table. So I will move on to the table. So what is the remaining couple in the table? The remaining couple in the table is this, which is equal to 0.0133 mm, which is equal to the balancing couple, right? And this already couple is 0, couple due to the mass mm. So what is this remaining? 0.13 mm. Okay. So this is also called as a balancing couple. So this couple vector D dash O dash, that is the starting point is O, D, and ending point is O. So vector D dash O dash indicates the couple which is equal to 0.0133 mm. Okay. Is it clear? Now what you will do? Measure this. measure this vector d dash o dash. So after measuring, I am getting, the length of this vector d dash o dash is equal to 43 mm. How much I am getting? I am getting it as a 43 mm. So 43 mm after measuring, and this 43 mm multiplied by scale. What is the scale? Scale is nothing but 0.05, right? Scale is nothing but the 0.05. I hope you have understand this. Now, what is this vector d dash o dash? It indicates a balancing couple 0.013 mm. So I will write here 0.0133 mm is equal to 43 into what is the scale? 0.005. Okay. Now from this equation, let me call this as equation number. What is this equation? Vector d dash o dash indicates the balancing couple 0.0133 mm is equal to what is the measure of this d dash o dash? 43 mm multiplied by scale. So now you will get the balancing couple mm. What you will get? The balancing couple mm. So balancing couple mm, sorry, balancing mass. So from this, I will write here balancing mass mm is equal to 16.117 kg, right? So this is how you have got this mm. Now once you have got this mm, obviously what you will get? You will also get the angle. Now what is the angle? So angle is nothing but the balancing angle, the angle at which this mm is positioned. So it is always start, we have to always measure the angle from the anti-clockwise direction. So what we will do? Draw a line parallel to, where is this, which is the starting point of the vector? D dash. So draw the line parallel here. Okay. And from this parallel line of the starting vector, measure the angle. So this angle is what? Theta m. So this angle is theta m. So what is theta m? The angle at which balancing mass mm is located. And after measuring, that angle is getting almost equal to 8 degrees. Right? So now I have got from the couple polygon, mm is equal to 16.17 kg and theta m, that is the position of balancing mass, as 8 degrees. Okay. Now you can show this on this page diagram. At the end, we will show this. I hope you understand this. Okay. Now come to the table. Now, what is the unknown here? Now let us talk about this force polygon. That is a column number 4. So how many unknowns are there here? There are 2 unknowns. So one unknown you can calculate. What is the first? This unknown. What you will get? 0.07 mm is equal to, what you are getting? 0.07 into mm is equal to, just calculate it. Okay, so after calculation, what you are getting? Okay, so 0.07 into what is mm we have calculated? 16.70. So this I am getting as 1.1319 in meters, or in kg meter. Okay. Now how many unknowns are there? There are only one unknown. So this is only one unknown. Okay. Now you have to take the scale again for a force polygon. So scale for force polygon. What is the scale for force polygon? The scale for force polygon is nothing but, let us say 1 mm is equal to, I am taking 0.05 kg meter. Okay. So for couple polygon, I have taken scale 1 mm is equal to 0.005 kg meter square. Okay. Now what is this? This indicates FC1, right? This indicates FC2, this indicates FC3, and this indicates FC4. Okay, and this indicates FCM. This indicates FCM. Right? Now you have to find out all these forces, that is the centrifugal force. So how will you find out? Very simple. FC1 is equal to, let us say it's a 1.2 divided by 0.05. So what is the centrifugal? What is the, means what? You are getting a length of the vector, right? Only 1.2 divided by 0.05. Okay, you are getting it as a 24. You are getting it as a 24, right? So what is the length of vector you are getting? Length of vector you are getting as a 24 mm. Okay, length of vector you are getting as a 25 mm. Similarly, you can calculate FC2 also. How will you calculate FC2? Again same 1.2. Similarly, FC3. So FC2 is equal to 24 mm again. Okay, I have calculated Now FC4. How will you calculate FC4? Sorry, FC3. What is the length? 1.7. So 1.7 divided by scale 0.05. You are getting it as a 34. 1.7 divided by 0.05. You are getting it as a 34 mm. So I hope you have understand this. In this way, calculate length of vectors, that is which indicates FC1, FC2, FC3, FCM and FC4. What is FCM? 1.139 divided by scale. I hope you understand this. Okay. So in this way, you have to draw the force polygon now. Okay. So now we will move on to the force polygon. So let's write here force polygon. Okay. Now what is force polygon? 1 mm scale 0.05 kg meter. Now first of all, how we draw? Now you know that all the forces are positive, so they will act readily outward from the center of rotation. To indicate, we are indicating by couple polygon by dash and force polygon by just letter, that is O. Now draw a line parallel to OM1. Draw a line parallel to OM1. So this is nothing but the OA, and this indicates FC1. This indicates FC1. And what is FC1? Length of vector, the centrifugal force in that particular column divided by scale. Try to understand. Okay. Now next, parallel to OM2. What is OM2? From the point O. So this will indicate the B. So this vector AB indicates FC2. Now parallel to OM4. Then why OM4? Okay. Sorry, parallel to OM3. Parallel to OM3. So parallel to OM3, vector BC. Vector BC. So vector BC indicates FC3. Okay. And next, last one is parallel to OM4. Now what is OM4? It indicates vector, let us say, it indicates the vector CD. Now I am drawing the actual vector diagram, sir. I am not drawing it randomly. How the vector diagram will look, I have already drawn it on the rough paper, and then I am drawing it. Actually, how the vector diagram will look, okay, even if I am not taking the measures over here. You have to take the measures of the vector accordingly and draw this. So this vector CD indicates the FC4. Now what is remaining? Now remaining is FCM. Okay, FCM is nothing but what? The centrifugal force due to the balancing mass Mn. Okay. Now what you will do? First of all, you have to locate this mass Mn. How will you locate this mass Mn? Now we know that this mass Mn, okay, mass Mn is acting at an angle theta m is equal to 8 degree anti-clockwise. So this is how it will be located. So this will be mass M. How we have located this mass Mn? Because I have already measured the angle. This angle is nothing but a theta m is equal to 8 degrees. So what we will do? Measure the angle 8 degree on the space diagram from this horizontal axis Mn. Then at 8 degree, that is theta m, you will get the balancing mass Mn. You will get the balancing mass Mn. Okay. So now parallel to this OMn, from the D, draw the line. And what is the length of the vector FCM? We have already calculated. So what will I am getting? I will be getting the line like this. So this will go like this somewhere. Okay. So it will go like this somewhere, parallel to M. So this indicates DE, and this D indicates the FCM. Okay. So now what is the resultant? Resultant means what? You have to just join it. Okay. So join this line, resultant line, that is OE. Okay. And this vector OE dash indicates FCL. What is FCL? The centrifugal force due to the balancing mass Mn. Right. Now, from this you can measure this. Now you know that this vector EO bar, okay, vector EO bar is equal to what? FCL. Okay, and what is FCL? FCL is nothing but ML into RL, right? FCL is equal to ML into RL. This we know, right? So now measure this vector. After measuring, you are getting this as a vector OR is equal to 42 ml after measuring. Okay, multiply by scale 0.05 is equal to ml into RL. But what is RL? RL is given. So Once the RL is given, what you can do? Calculate this value. So therefore, from this I am getting ml is equal to RL is given. Na? What is RL? RL is equal to 0.07. This is given. That is the length of the radius of rotation of the balancing mass ml. So from this I am getting ml is equal to 30 kg. Okay. So now I am getting ml is equal to 30 kg. Now what is the next step? Now next step is to measure the angle. Now this is very very important. How will you measure the angle? Okay. So let me erase this first and let me show you how to measure the angle. Okay. So now what is the starting point of vector EO bar? Starting point is E. So as I said that the simplest way is to draw the parallel line. Draw the parallel line from this starting point E. Now once you draw the parallel line starting from E, measure the angle in the anti-clockwise direction. How will you measure the angle? You have to measure in this manner. So this angle is like this. So what will be this angle? This angle will be this angle, which is equal to theta L. So after measuring this, so what you can do? You can measure this angle also. This small angle also you can measure and add 180 degree to it, right? So for example, I will just enlarge this to help you to understand. You enlarge this. So measure this angle. Which angle you will measure? You measure this angle, this small angle. And by measuring this small angle, add 182 degree to it, or you can measure this total angle. You're getting theta L is equal to. So this, after measuring this angle will be 40 degree, and theta L is equal to this 40 degree plus 180 degree. It will be 220 degree. Okay, is it clear? Have you understand this? How I have measured this angle? Or one more method is that you can draw the line parallel to this vector EO bar. Now what is this vector EO bar? This vector EO. This vector EO bar. Draw a line parallel to this line. Okay, this is a vector. Huh? This is a vector. Now what you will do? Draw the line parallel to this vector bar. Now you can see that this vector arrow is in the downward direction. Downward direction means what? It is moving away from the point O, but in a downward direction. Okay, so you can draw this line here. So parallel to this, you will get a line here. So this indicates ML, and this indicates the theta L. I hope you understand this. Okay, so you can do vice versa anything. Okay, now I will complete the space diagram here. So this is my space diagram. Huh? So how I will complete the space diagram now? So first of all, I will locate the mass mm here. So finally complete the space diagram, locate the mass mm, which is at angle theta m. Okay, and then either parallel to the vector EO bar or by taking an angle 220 degree, you can locate the angle here. You can locate the angle this theta L, which is equal to 220 degree, and at this angle, what you will get? You will get the mass ml. Okay. Now this system is called as a completely balanced system with masses m1, m2, m3, and m4, and masses mm and ml. So now what I have done, I have calculated the magnitude of masses mm and ml, and also I have calculated the magnitude of these masses, the position of these masses, that is theta m is equal to 8 degree and theta L is equal to 20 degree. So I hope you have understood this. This is how you have to balance the several masses rotating in a different place. Okay. So this is how you have to draw the couple polygon and the force polygon diagram. Okay. Now we have slightly 15 to 20 minutes. We will solve this problem. This is again a different, same type of problem, slightly different, which has been asked in MB 2000 December 18. So this problem also you can use to solve your experiment number 9. So how will you solve your experiment number 9? By using how I solve this problem, right? So let us understand. Now in this problem, basically they have given ABCD as the 4 masses carried by the rotating shaft at radii 110 mm, 440 mm, 210. Okay. The planes in which the masses revolve are spaced 700 mm apart, and the masses of B, C, and D are 12 kg, 7 kg, and 5 kg respectively. Find the required mass A and the relative angular settings of the 4 masses so that shafts shall be in complete balance. Now guys, try to understand that they have asked you to find out a mass MA, and they also haven't given you the angles. Now in the last problem, they have given you the angles, so it was slightly easy to solve the problems from the space diagram because you have to draw the parallel to the space diagram, force polygon and the couple polygon. But here we have to go reverse. Let us see how to solve. Let us say what is the given data. Given data MA, mass MA you have to find. Mass MB they have given as 12 kg. Mass MC they have given as 7 kg, and mass MD they have given as 5 kg respectively. Okay. Next, they have also given the planes in which masses are carried by a rotating shaft at radii 110. Okay, they have given all the radius of rotation 110 mm, which is equal to 0.11 meter. They have given RB also 140 mm, which is equal to 0.21 meter. Sorry, RB 0.21 not 0.14 meter, and RC is equal to, they have given 210 mm to 0.21 meter, and RD they have given as 160 mm is equal to 0.16 meter. Okay, is it clear? So this is what they have given you. Now they have also given you that the planes in which masses revolve are spaced 700 mm apart. Means what? Or the distance between all the planes is equal. That is 700 mm apart. So they have given this. Okay. So this is what we have to understand. Now, first of all, let us draw the position of plane diagram. So let us consider the four masses. What are the four masses? Let us say this is the mass number. This is mass MA. This is mass MB. This is mass ME, MC, and this is mass MD. Now guys, try to understand that they haven't given you any condition, like you have to use the balancing masses or put the balancing masses such a way that it should be at a midway. They haven't given you any condition. So what I will do, I will directly consider the reference planes as the first mass. As I earlier said that you can consider the reference plane as an extreme left mass, so that there will be no any negative couple, right? Because there will be no any distance to the left of the reference plane. Okay. So now let us see what is the distance they have given. So they have given this distance as 700 mm. Okay. So they have given this distance as 700 mm. That is 700 divided by 1000. So 0.7. Right. 700 divided by 1000. So they have given 0.7. So this distance is nothing but the 0.7 meter. 0.7 meter. And 0.7 meter. Let us assume that this is, let us say this is RA, let us say this is RB, let us say this is RC, and let us say this is RD. Okay, from this point O, you can take this point as a O. You can take this one. O means what? It is a point on the axis of rotation, right? Try to understand this. And let us say this is plane A, plane B, plane C, and plane D. So what do you mean by this? That masses MA, MB, MC, and MD are rotating in the planes A, B, C, and D at a distance RA, RB, RC, and RD, and the planes are 0.7 meter apart. This is the first diagram which I have drawn, and I have very important, I have considered this RP, that is the first plane, as a reference plane. Okay. Now, first of all, you have to tabulate the data, that is the force and couple data. So write down all the planes. So plane A is having a reference plane. Now we know that mass MA is unknown, so I will write it as a MA only. Radius is given as 0.11. So what will be the centrifugal force? 0.11 into MA. Distance from the reference plane. Yeah. So this is very important condition again. What are the distances? Yeah. So this distance is nothing but the L1, distance from the reference plane. This distance is nothing but the L2. Always you have to take this, and this distance is nothing but the L3, distance from the reference plane. Now distance from the reference planes of A will be 0, B will be 0.7 meter, L2 will be 0.14 meter, and L3 will be 0.21 meter. Sorry, not 0.14 meter, very sorry. Just erase this. Okay, it is 0.7 plus 0.7, so it's 1.4 meter. 1.4 meter, and this is 2.1 meter, right? Okay, so now just here put all the data. So reference plane is 0, so couple. So now you can see that the first mass itself is considered the reference plane, so you will not get a negative couple. Instead of getting a negative couple, you are getting a 0 couple. Okay. Next is mass B. Put all the data for mass B, mass M is equal to 12. So in this way, put all the data here. Okay. And finally, I am completing this table. So how I have completed this table? Mass is 1275. Radius is given as 0.11, 0.14, 0.20, 0.16. So multiply this mass M with respect to the R. You're getting this column. Okay. Then distance. This is L0. This is L1. This is L12. This is L3. So multiply this MR with this L. You are getting this MRL, that is a couple. So 0, 1.76, 2.07. Okay. So now what you are getting, this is 0, so this is a couple 1, this is a couple 2, and this is a couple 3. Okay, so we are getting a 3 couples here, and here you are getting FC1, FC2, FC3, and FC4, 4 centrifugal forces. Okay, so that we'll understand later on. So I hope you have understand how to tabulate the data. Now, very important. Now, space diagram. Now, basically, try to understand that the angles are not given. So, how will you find out the? You have to find out the angular position of masses. Okay. Now, in this case, your mass Ma is unknown. Mass Ma is equal to unknown. Try to understand. Since mass Ma is equal to unknown, means the first mass. So, I will consider mass Mb as a horizontal. This is the important point here. This is very important point here. You have to consider mass Mb as a horizontal. Right? You have to consider mass Mb as a horizontal. Okay? Is it clear? So that is why what I have done in this diagram, I have taken this mass Mb on the horizontal axis OX. I have taken this mass Mb on the horizontal axis OX at a distance Rb. Okay? So now I just only have this much data, so my space diagram will not get completed. I will complete it afterwards. Okay. Now what is the first step? First step, try to understand that here you are having some couples. Couple means what? Let us say this is C1, this is C2, and this is C3. Okay. Now what you will do? First of all, you have to draw the couple polygon. In couple polygon, how many unknowns are there? There is no unknown. Here there is no unknown, and here there is one unknown. So how many couples are there? C1, C2, C3. 3 couples are there. So this will form a triangle. So this will form a triangle. So this couple polygon will be a triangle. Try to understand it. So when the couple polygon is a triangle, there is no need of angular position. Okay? Why? We will understand. So first of all, let us consider the scale for couple polygon. Let us consider the scale as 1 mm is equal to, for the couple polygon, let us consider the scale as 1 mm is equal to, how much scale we will consider? 0. It is 1.176, so we can consider 0.05 kg meter square. So C1, C2, and C3, how much I am getting? Let us see, 1.176 divided by 0.05, I am getting it at 23.52, right? I am getting it as a 23.52 divided by, you have to just divide it, 23.52 mm. Similarly, 2.058 divided by 0.05, I am getting it as a 41.16 mm. So these all dimensions are in mm. And finally 1.68, this 1.68 divided by 0.05, I am getting it as a 33.6. Okay. So now basically this is a triangle, so I have got all the sides of the triangle. So what you will do? First of all, draw a vector OB dash, draw a vector O dash B dash parallel to this. Okay? I will write it. Draw a vector O dash B dash. Okay, and this O dash B dash, it indicates C1. Now this O dash B dash is parallel to this OM2. It is parallel to OM2. Now what does this vector O dash B dash indicates? It indicates the vector of this mass mb, because mass mb is unknown and mass mb is horizontal. So o dash b dash, see if you go to the table, this 1.176, this is of the mass b, mass m, mb, right? That is a 12 mm. What is it? 23.52. So what is the length of the vector o dash b dash? Length of the vector o dash b dash is equal to 23 mm. Okay, now next, what you will do now? What is C2? Now this is the first one. Always go into the order. Try to understand. You have to follow the order. So this is the first. This is the second, and this is the third. Now what is the first? First is nothing but the 2.08. Now 2.05. What is the length of this couple C2? 2.05 divided by 0.05. That is 41.616. And what is the length of this C3? 33.6. Now what you do? You take a compass. Very very important. You have to draw a triangle. Take a compass, and in the compass, take length equal to 41.16. Take length equal to 41.16. That is equal to C2. And what you will do now? You will mark, keep it on the B dash, because your starting ending point is B dash. Because I have to follow the order. Remember, you have to always follow the order. So keep on the B, and keeping on the B, mark a arc. Marker by using a compass. By using a compass, mark an arc. Okay. Now, what is the next again length? What is the next length? 33.6. Okay. Now again in the compass, take a length C3 equal to 33.6 mm, and now you keep it on the point A. Keep it on the point A, and then you mark a arc. You are getting an intersecting point. So this is how you have to draw the couple polygon when you are not knowing the angles. And now you join this. See how I follow. Now you join this. So this is the vector diagram which I am getting. Okay, and then mark the arrow. So this indicates a C dash. So B dash C dash indicates a C2, and C dash O dash indicates a C3. And this is how I have completed a couple polygon. Okay. Now once you have completed the couple polygon, what you can do? You can easily locate the angles. So what how will you locate the angles now? Okay, so let us locate the angle. Now first, this B dash C dash indicates what? C2. What is C2? C2 indicates the mass MB. So what is the angle of mass MB? Sorry, this indicates the mass MC. This indicates the mass MC. So angle of mass MC is CC. Okay, and this C3 indicates the mass MD, and the angle of mass MD is, let us say, CD. Okay, so now how I will find theta? So draw. Now this is draw a line from the starting point. What is the starting point? Always remember, starting point is B dash. So from B dash, measure the angle theta C. Okay. Similarly, what is the starting point? What is the starting point of this mass MD or vector MD or vector of couple C3? This is C. So draw a line perpendicular parallel to this, to the horizontal line, and from this measure this angle. This angle indicates what? This angle indicates theta D. So after measuring, I am getting theta C is equal to 120 degree and theta D is equal to, I am getting 270 degree. See, so in this way, so same procedure you have to follow for the experiment number 9. Okay, same procedure you have to follow to the experiment number 9. So I hope you have understand this. Okay, so now once you draw this, what will happen? So go back to this. Okay, now go back to your this diagram. So this diagram I have already drawn, so I will erase this. Now complete this space diagram. So how will you complete this space diagram? How will you complete this space diagram? Okay, so complete this space diagram. So this indicates what? Theta C, which is equal to 120 degree. So at theta C, locate MC, and then complete this diagram, theta D. So at theta D, locate MD. So complete this diagram. Okay, and now what you do? Now you draw the force diagram. So for force diagram, again a similar procedure. For the force diagram, again a similar procedure. What is that similar procedure? Now we have to calculate this MA. we have to calculate this MA, right? So first of all, this MA is unknown. Okay, doesn't matter. Now let us say this indicates FC1. Let us say this indicates FC2, and let us say this indicates FC3. Okay. So let us say that for force polygon. Okay, I am taking a couple as 1 mm is equal to, for force polygon, I am taking scale. Let us take some scale for the force polygon. So for force polygon, I am taking scale as 1 mm is equal to 0.05 kg meter. Okay, that is sufficient scale. Okay, so now calculate. FC1 is equal to 1.68 divided by 0.05. So what is XC I am getting? 1.68 divided by 0.05 is equal to, yes, 33.6. Similarly, calculate FC2. 1.47 divided by 0.05. Yeah, you are getting 29.4 mm. And similarly, calculate FC3. FC3 you are getting as 0.8 divided by 0.05. You are getting it as a 16 mm. So these are nothing but the lengths of the vector. Okay. So length of the vector you are getting. Now, already I have this space diagram in front of you. You have a space diagram because from the force polygon I have got these angles. I have to understand that. Okay, I have got all these angles. Which angle I have got? I have got this angle also, theta c, and I have got this angle also, theta d. Okay, and I have completed the space diagram. And now from the space diagram you can easily draw the force polygon. Okay, so force polygon, how will you draw? So first of all, parallel to this OMB, parallel to this mass OMB, draw a line. And now all are positive, so they will be acting radially outwards in the direction of OMB. So this vector OB indicates your FC1. Vector OB indicates your FC1. Then parallel to the OMC, what you will do? Draw this vector. Now this vector indicates C. So vector BC indicates FC2, and then parallel to the OMD, draw a line, draw a vector CD. Okay. Now what is remaining? You have to close the force polygon. See, you have to close the force polygon. So this vector vector DO. What does this vector DO indicates? The unknown. What is the unknown? 0.11 MA. Okay. Now measure this. So what you will do after measuring? Let us say now this vector DO bar is equal to, I am getting, after measuring I am getting either 22 mm multiplied by scale. Okay, and what does this vector DO bar indicate? 0.11 MA is equal to 22 mm into 0.05, that is the scale. So from this I am getting mass MA is equal to 10 kg. Okay, I hope. So from the force polygon I have got this. Now we have to measure the angle. You have to measure the angle of this mass MA. Means what? Where is the mass MA located? So how will you measure the angle? So again same, what is the starting point? This is the starting point. So from the starting point, this angle. So this angle is nothing but the theta A. Or you can also measure this angle. As I said that, measure this angle. And this angle, after measuring, let us say after measuring this angle, you are getting 35 degrees. Okay, so what will be this theta A? Theta A will be 180 degree plus 35 is equal to 205 degree. Okay, so I am getting theta A, that is the position of mass M, is equal to 205 degree. And now what you will do? Locate this theta A. Okay, so let us locate this angle. So this will be your mass MA at an angle. And what is this angle here? Theta A. I hope you understand. So this is how you have to solve the problems when the angles are not given, and similar kind of problem you have to solve in the experiment. I hope you understand this. Thank you so much.